sentence should not be pronounced at this time.
Regarding,
You.
in what capacity are you addressing me?
In the same capacity you appear before this court every time you conclude.
For the record, on the record, let the record show I refuse, I waive that benefit offer. I have no constitutional rights or benefits. I want no constitutional rights or benefits. I claim no constitutional rights or benefits. With all due respect, I waive your benefit offer. I do not accept your offer.
It is the sentence and judgment of this court that on count 1, the defendant is sentenced to the Montana State Prison for a period of 6 years with 3 of those years suspended. On count 2, the defendant is sentenced to the Montana State Prison for 4 years with 2 of those years suspended. On count 3, the defendant is sentenced to the Montana State Prison for 10 years with 5 of those years suspended. On count 4, the defendant is sentenced to the Lake County Jail for a period of 6 months. All of those counts are to run consecutively in this matter. The court is making a specific recommendation to the Department of Corrections that in the event that there is any change in the defendant's acceptance of responsibility, his appreciation for the law, his recognition of society, his recognition of other people's property rights, and his willingness to participate in the country that he has chosen to live in, then the court would certainly consider or approve the department considering a conditional release. The court has imposed the additional suspended time because of the court's significant concern in this case with regard to the defendant's behavior and other people's property rights. And I want the defendant to be under some supervision for at least the next 20 years so that the court can protect other property owners from what happened in this particular case. The defendant's unwillingness to participate in the trial, the defendant's unwillingness to acknowledge his responsibility for his acts, his failure to accept any of the laws that are imposed as a right and a responsibility of citizens of this country, his lack of appreciation for other people's property rights, his demonstrated determination to flout the system, creates a significant danger by someone who will deliberately misuse public records and create serious consequences to unknowing or innocent victims, especially in the area of property law, which can create clouds on titles of people's most valuable piece of property besides their health and their freedom. The fact, in addition, the court's had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report. It is clear that the defendant has had an opportunity to understand just exactly what he took from others. It is the correctional and sentencing policy of the state of Montana to hold an offender accountable for their actions, to protect the public, to encourage and provide opportunities for the offender's self-improvement, to provide rehabilitation and reintegration of an offender back into the community. All of those things can only be accomplished in and if the defendant ever accepts some responsibility for his actions. The court specifically notes that the defendant has no significant criminal history, which of course is part of exactly what Mr. Eschenbacher and the court have been concerned about with regard to this entire matter. And the sentencing policy specifically requires that there should be alternatives to imprisonment for punishment of those nonviolent felony offenders who don't have serious criminal records. However, given the conduct of the defendant and his unwillingness to participate, his waiver of all the constitutional rights, including everyone else's, the court sees no way to handle this matter but to incarcerate the defendant with the hope that he comes to appreciate the rights and responsibilities of a citizen of the United States, and in the event that he does not, to protect the community from his behavior. The county attorney will prepare the judgment. The court will sign it. The defendant is remanded to custody of the Lake County Sheriff to be delivered to the Montana State Prison.
And Your Honor, I would simply ask whether or not the court needs to impose the conditions set forth in the pre-sentence investigation.
Additionally, the court opposed the suspended time because there was restitution in this matter that is due and owing, and there are additional conditions that in the event the defendant ever decides to participate in this world again and recognize that there are other people's rights that he has to acknowledge in the process of that, that the court has provided for an opportunity opportunity for him to do so. So as conditions of any suspended or conditional release, if that's determined appropriate by the parole board from the Montana State Prison, all of the conditions that were imposed by the, or requested by the probation officer are imposed as conditions of the suspended portion, and those are the conditions that are outlined on pages 8, 9, 10, paragraphs 1 through and including 24. The defendant is absolutely to receive credit for the time that he has served on this one.
Yes, Your Honor, and that will include the times that the defendant spent in